The recent Houthi escalation, especially in Ma'rib, seems to reflect the rebels' defiance to all the international community efforts. Both the UN and the US envoys have been doing intensive diplomatic activity, yet such efforts are faced with complete obstinance from the part of the rebels. This comes when the UN Security Council is set to hold an open session in Yemen next week. More details about this are within the following report.
Amid a dramatic military escalation and a continuous rejection by Houthi militias to ceasefire agreements, UN Security Council agenda showed that the Council will hold an open session to discuss developments in the military, humanitarian and economic situations and efforts to establish peace. The UN envoy Hans Grunberg will brief the Council on results of his recent efforts with international and regional actors to engineer a peace plan for the 7-year conflict. UN envoy will be joining the fourth session since his appointment. It coincides with 100 days since his appointment as a special envoy to the country. Grunberg said during the past two sessions that he intends to assess previous efforts of the United Nations and determine what succeeded and what did not, to find the best approach that the United Nations will follow to end the conflict and move forward in a comprehensive political process. This comes at a time where military activities are being intensified with battles approaching the vicinity of Ma'rib, which shelters more than 1.5 million displaced people. The death toll of civilian casualties increased, economic collapse as well as tit-for-tat violence between Houthi rebels, who resumed their cross-border attacks on Saudi Arabia and the coalition strikes on Sana'a. Further, the session comes at a time where indications of improving economic conditions rose, especially with the decision to reshuffle the Central Bank Board of Directors, a decision which received well internationally. The Council will also hear a statement from the humanitarian coordinator over the displacement situation in Ma'rib and Hudaydah and the increasing humanitarian needs amid fears that level of the food insecurity in Yemen will reach levels it is approaching famine at the beginning of next year. A Yemeni government official said that the cabinet neither expect the UN envoy to present new resolution nor that the Council would take actual steps to end Houthi escalation. Grunberg was strongly presented with high international diplomatic momentum during his appointment last September. Features of hope for opportunities of engineering peace talks led by the Swedish diplomat seems to fade, especially with Houthis' aggression and rejection of all calls to end war.